All right, yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back with another orb reaction. Today we're here with episode 19. Last time we finally saw Yolenta. It was absolute cinema. I jumped out my window, as y'all can see at the end of the video, and I had to limp my way back into my home. Fun fact, I actually had to go to the hospital. So we're gonna be here checking out this episode. We're gonna see what Yolenta's been up to. We're gonna see how they publish it, Oxy's book and everything, and heliocentrism. Bro, I'm just so excited, bro. I'm so excited, and hopefully we maybe get a reunion between her and Novak. I don't know, that might be wishful thinking. Maybe at the end of the show, maybe he's already slumped, he's dead, but that would be kind of anticlimactic because Novak's literally one of the most significant characters in the story that's been prevalent since the very beginning. So it'd be kind of weird for him to just get killed off like that. But we'll see. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also consider checking out the Patreon, where you can catch full uncut access reactions to anime, openings, endings, and eventually TV shows and movies. Right now you can actually catch one movie reaction, and that is of Look Back. I did a reaction to that, so you can see it. Anyways, let's get into the reaction. Yo, Yolenta looks like a killer. She looks like a killer. Looks like she caught like 10 bodies. Look at her. You hear her voice, bro? It's gonna be interesting to see how she's changed. Wandering is how you find what's right. Waterboarding, by the way. That's Damian. That's Damian. Yeah, what happened before then?
500年前には大司教が魔女の権威をかけられたものを集団暴行から救っているし、昔の教会は事実や異端の疑いがあるものに対して温和なこともあった。
You notice how when he was proved wrong, he immediately just switched back to that. This guy's like this, brother's waffling. I thought the word clergy said something else.
このやり方で世界が好転してるとは思えない。
That's for my brother Novak.
拷問と恐怖の上に成り立つ救済などない。違う考えのものを愛せ。
沈めろ。先日我々の審問所が襲撃された。警備に当たっていた者と審問官の10名が死んだ。犯人は手口から言って異端解放戦線でしょう。本自体は1年ほど前に押収しました。廃村の教会から見つかったとか。だいぶ古いもののようですが、いつ誰が書いたものなのか情報はなかった。トトツキに寄付しろと。
He knows that guy.
ですが調べたところ、トトツキなる人物は大昔に死んでいて、現在その住所には全く無関係と思われる市民が住んでいるだけ。
That's true? No way. No way that's true. No way Potoki's actually dead. I was so hyped that we were gonna actually meet him. He doesn't know all this lore. He's like, what is all this lore? Damn. Novak. Novak. Oh my god. Old Novak. Wow, look at him. Look at him. You hear his voice, bro? Look at how far he's fallen. Like, I used to be that. He still has his like senses.
あれもともと俺の部下なのよ。
35年前、あなたが担当した地動説の件ですよ。
はあ、
He doesn't want to talk about it.
帰ってありえない。もう終わったはずだ。
Yeah, she's dead. My life was in ruins.
昔に、なのに今になってのうのうと復活だと。私の娘を奪っておいて。
Buddy, you don't know the lore.
待て。
You don't know the history here. Please tell me he has to meet Yolenta eventually.
私も捜査に協力する。
Don't die, please, before you get to meet her.
情報は錯綜してますが、おそらく女性かと。
What?
悲惨だな。もっと安全に生きる可能性もあっただろうに。
Buddy.
歯が抜けてるとか。
Yeah, from when she was getting
し
tortured.
かし、彼らの逃亡先がわかりません。目的も不明です。
Bro, I can't even imagine how he's gonna react.
なぜ今回に限って本なんて狙ったのか。
Right, Novak's good at
解放す
this.
ることは目的ではなく手段であると仮定しよう。奴らの真の目的が教会正統派を打倒することだとしたら、異端審問官なら最新技術に注視するという。
You got a cell phone?
奴らは今回本を出版する可能
Like
性
Ash could tell, like this guy's like he's old, but he's still got that brain working.
早速印刷機職人と活字職人に聞き込みを。最近になってブドウの圧搾機とか鉛を大量に入手した人物、場所がないか調べよう。
He's on it, bro.
はい。
彼らは操られてるだけだ。ある種被害者だよ。
Look how
真
it-
敵は彼らではない。
His perspective has shifted, bro.
どこまでも追いかけてやる。諸悪の根源を。
Truth.
指導説を
Or
ぶち殺
heliocentrism.
す。
And he's even more motivated right now because it took his daughter away.
動かないで。
But, you know,
信用してないから。
look at Yolenta, bro. You could tell she's like different, bro.
あの本に何の用が？あれを使って大儲けできそうだったから。しかもあなたたちは印刷機ってのまで持ってる。あなたの燃やしたものはおそらく私の古い友人が書いたものだった。だからお金稼ぎの道具に終わらせてほしくない。それじゃもったいない。来て。この時
Yeah,
間
I have
な
a
ら
feeling
ま
Novak
だ
and
星が
Yolenta are
残
not
ってる。
gonna meet.
惑星
I feel like he's gonna die right before he gets to do it or something. I don't know.
惑星はそれぞれ進行速度が違う。あの土星があそこと同じ位置にいたのはどれくらい前だと思う？ 30 年前、14歳で地動説に出会った。その6年後、20歳で初めて人を殺した。
Oh my god. We didn't even get to see that.
土
She's
星は空を
39.
一周した。
Like, you know how much shit she's probably been through during
土
that
星は
time?
惑星の中で一番遅い。理由はおそらく太陽からの距離が一番遠いから。あなたの読んだ地動説を覗き込むと神の偉業が見えてくる。私の感動を必死に伝えてる。はあ、だからなんで私にそんな話するんですか？簡単に言うと、なぜか今私とあなたが出会ったから。金稼ぎを蔑むようだけど、あなたのやってることは？人を殺して異端を解放して社会を乱す。私は取り返してるだけ。教会に奪われた自由と人生を。父と友を。
My father. My father, she didn't forget.
つまり権威の中で生じる思考停止は何も宗教だけじゃなく学問ってものの中でも起こるんじゃないですか。私も何度も人を殺した。確かに真理を盾に暴力は加速しうる。何かを前提にしないと論理を立てられない人間理性の本質的限界として、そういう状況下で駆動した情熱が暴走ともいえる奇跡を経て、時には美しい偉業を、時には醜い悲劇を生む。自由の定義はそう問えること。
That's low key a bar.
少し喋りすぎたかな。
Pardon me if I'm not talking too much because I just had to lock in. Orb just has such well written dialogue, I have to like lock in to understand it.
あなたの条件だけど、利益の2割は渡せない。この本でお金稼ぎするつもりはないから。
Makes sense.
何を売るかはあなたが新しく見つけて。悪い条件じゃないと思うけど。
Maybe write your own book.
本の内容を聞かせて。私も古い友人と久々に再会したい。
Oh. We're kind of like hearing this for the first time through her words. So we don't even know if all of this is true is what he wrote. But seems to be. Aww. It's as if Oxy was sitting right there. Getting chills, bro.
文字は奇跡ですね。どうしてそんなに稼ぎたいの？それが私の信念だからです。でも時々信念なんて忘れさせる何かに出会ったりする。
Yo, is Yolenta just tall or she's short?
でないと。でないと。私みたいになる。
Right.
信念を忘れたら人は迷う。迷って。きっと迷いの中に倫理がある。
You stumble across something you didn't even know you needed. Oh, Ruchu Ziania? I don't know. I don't know what that said. Yeah, you know, another great episode of Orb. Yolenta has definitely changed a lot since we last seen her. We didn't even see the kill that she did. We don't even know what she's been through ever since she left. Like, she went through hell, bro. Clearly we know that. But we just don't know what type of hell, right? We know she's killed someone at 20 for the first time. But then the next 19 years, this is who she is. That's all we see. I'm just like, it would be so cool if they didn't even explain how she even killed that first person. Or like, you know, it's just like, you know, just a matter of the path that she was on. She was eventually going to be led to do that. You know? That's just the path. Like this sweet little innocent girl. I'm not gonna lie, Yolenta might be my favorite character. There's a lot of great characters in this show. Yolenta is probably my favorite, right? And I didn't expect to be saying that because I thought, you know, there's a lot of, you know, we got Oxy, we got Badane, we got Raffle, who we had for 4 episodes, but I still loved him as an MC, right? Without him, this wouldn't have even started. Without Hubert, this wouldn't have been started. But you know, Raffle's like the main protagonist. But Yolenta, her story, her and like Novak, right? Those are probably like my top 2 favorite characters in the story. And yeah, it's just so heartbreaking seeing them. Like, I'm so invested in their relationship. Like, I'm invested in the show as a whole, but specifically their relationship, bro. I'm just wanting them to reunite so bad, but I have a feeling it won't even happen. If it does, great, but from what I know about the show so far is that they don't give a shit about killing characters, bro. They'll kill characters and then make you sad and then move on. You know, they'll tie it back later on, but they'll still kill the character that you loved and you got really invested in their story. But then they give you another one right after that, so it's like, but you know, Yolenta and Novak, their whole story really, like, you know, makes me feel pain. It makes me ache like no other. And I really want them to reunite, but I don't know if it will happen. Yolenta was saying some interesting things to Draka. You know, she didn't hesitate to put a knife sword to her throat, of course, because as I said, she's been through so much. But then she was also talking about, you know, she's kind of not really doubting, but she's like done so much to follow this path of, you know, making heliocentrism the truth of the world, and, you know, publishing it, and, you know, doing all of that, carrying on the wishes of Badeni, Oxy, Raph, everyone that's come before her and alongside her. And, you know, she's had to sacrifice a lot too. Her dad, her friends themselves, the ones who wanted this to, you know, become the truth, as well as, you know, her own sanity and her own life, her own journey, bro. She's had to sacrifice a lot, and she's kind of like, you know, put everything below heliocentrism and proving that, and that is like the authority, I guess, in her life. And it was very interesting to see her perspective on that change so much, because, you know, she was always certain that heliocentrism is the truth, right? And she's become even more certain of that over the years, but at the same time, she's kind of questioned, or maybe wondering about the fact that, you know, was it all worth it? Was it worth it to do all this, you know, just for the sake of, you know, achieving the truth, or you know, heliocentrism, you know, creating this whole heretic liberation front, having to see her friends killed, being tortured herself, and everything that's come after that, things that we haven't even seen, you know. And then Draka herself is kind of in the same predicament, but Yolanta kind of had some advice for her, right? Like, don't lose sight, or I guess what did she say? Hold on, I don't want to like butcher it, because her conviction, that's what Draka said. She's like, why do you want, and Yolanta was like, why do you want money so much? And Draka was like, you know, because my conviction. And then Yolanta was like, it's important, but sometimes, if that's your conviction, then it's important. But sometimes you find something that makes you forget your convictions in the first place. I don't know if she's hinting at the fact of finding the book and, you know, being led to the heretic, and, you know, what she's going through right now. I don't know if that's like what am I doing? That's the, I guess, sidetrack that she needed to make you forget about her convictions. But, you know, Yolanta's kind of like giving her advice, right? And she's saying that you should consider those, you should value those feelings as well. And Draka was like, herself was asking why, right? She said, conviction can be a curse, Yolanta. It's both the source of strength and her limitation. Source of strength, obviously, because, you know, she's become strong, literally. You could see her appearance, bro. She's carried herself like completely differently. She's stronger. She seems more authoritative, and, you know, being the leader of this whole group, of course, killing people. She's killed like 10 people, I think she said, 10 men. And, you know, clearly you can see that she's like a completely different person, kind of like her Novak. You know, she's kind of like activated that same aura that he has. The word aura has like lost all meaning, but he also says it's her limitation, because, as I said, she sacrificed everything for the sake of heliocentrism, for the sake of reaching the truth and publishing that. Not really reaching the truth, but like, you know, making that the known thing worldwide. You know, it's just interesting. And we can forget our convictions, we only wander. Like, that's where you keep wandering. I really like that, because it could be used in a variety of ways. I don't know what's the exact quote that people use, or like the phrase that people say, you know, whatever, you guys know what I mean. So I wonder how that's gonna affect her story and her motivations and her convictions going forward, right? Because as of right now, she's about the bag, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think also, after reading Oxy's book, she's also kind of subtly been, you know, wondering about that. Like, maybe I should do something too. Maybe she's found like some motivation out of that. How, like, you know, Oxy was saying, you know, or Badeni was saying, maybe some people can find inspiration from Oxy's text in the future. And she's found some inspiration to make money out of it, but also what else is there, right? What else is there? Because there has to be something, right? Her journey is not just going to end with money. We know that. It's interesting. You know, I can only take away so much from this. Because, you know, I'm not smart enough to like figure all this out, but just, you know, these are like been my thoughts about, you know, the conversation between these two, Yolenta, everything she's been talking about, and how that's gonna affect the story progressing forward. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments about this episode, about the show as a whole thus far, about anything really, bro. What do you think of, who is your favorite character? Actually, let me know in the comments. I remember someone said a couple, you know, when I started this, but like when we met Badeni was like their favorite character. That's pretty interesting. Let me know what y'all favorite characters are in the comments, what y'all think about this whole conversation between these two. I like, you know, if you guys could discuss on what we actually talk about in the episode, what actually happens in the episode, pardon me, and what your theories on, if this is your first time watching. If it's not your first time watching, then, you know, obviously don't do that, because you know what's gonna happen. But I don't even know if we have any first time watchers, probably not. But anyways, yeah, I know your thoughts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also consider checking out the Patreon, where you can catch full uncut access reactions to anime, openings, endings, and eventually TV shows and movies. Right now we have only one movie, that's Look Back. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.